3, 2, 1. And we're live. Hi.
Hi. We're live.
I've seen a lot of you lately.
It's never enough. It's never enough.
So we just made a video,
Yes.
and that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I can't believe it actually went down the way it did. So we'll tell everybody the story. So I call up Dave, who happens to be my neighbor. And I tell him, I'm like, is there any way I can borrow your lighting for this video I want to shoot? Just something simple on my iPhone. He's like, what are you doing? And you're like, I'll come over and help you with it. And little did I know that you had all this equipment to make this really cool video. So yeah, we made a music video.
Yeah, and it was great because I was actually, getting all the video equipment together for the podcast and all of that, and it couldn't have been more perfect timing for you to come over and ask me to borrow lighting, and for me to just go ding.
Yep. opportunity.
This is a chance to do something. And the great thing about it was I came over that night to start shooting, and I wasn't really sure what we were getting into and all of that.
Yeah.
But you had this entire storyboard written. And just like you knew exactly kind of what you wanted to do. And between the two of us, I thought it came out pretty good.
It went amazing. I mean, I think people don't realize how long it takes if you're doing especially like, 3 minutes. It doesn't seem like, a lot. But a 3-minute music video that's intense. Even when I had the storyboard down, we still had to go back and redo those shots, which were really, really cool, actually. And they were great ideas.
Yeah, we got the turtle in there.
We got the turtle. We got the fireplace. I mean, that and the water. Oh, my gosh. That was brutal, but that was fun.
It was my idea to have you fall off the back of the diving board into the freezing cold water.
Are you sure? That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And thank God Megan did it first. She's my guinea pig.
I know, that was great.
But then the turtle with the tutu, that was awesome. You guys have to go check it out. It's a Gemma. My good friend Trish, who is my co-writer, she lives out in Burbank, and she is, doing this awesome group called Gemma, and they do these really awesome hip hop, in your face type of girl power music. So that's what the song is. It's called Me. So if you look it up, it's on YouTube, Gemma, and you'll see the whole thing. But yeah,
and that was kind of one of the things that got me going on it. Once we started filming, I was like, this is a cool song. I mean, it's
you
well
didn't even
done.
hear it until you walked through my door.
No.
I'm like, so what's the song? And I play it for you, and I was like, I didn't even know if that was your jam, like you were into that type of music, and I was like, he might be
I'm into anything that's
surprised.
Good,
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like it was a well done song.
Yeah. And PK is amazing. The producer, he's my producer too. So he knows what he's doing.
So tell me about the relationship that you have with all of these people from LA and who they are and all of that.
So it's funny how it all kind of came together. My good friend, a mutual friend of ours, Lauren, who you met, was in the video. She had been talking about her friend Trish and her boyfriend PK for years, trying to get me hooked up with them, but my schedule just wouldn't.
So Trish and PK are
our boyfriend girlfriend.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
They're together. Yeah, they've been together for 4 years. So, and it's funny to me that they actually work together. In music, she vocal produces and he just makes the music fantastic. So they work together on a lot of different projects, including mine. So my schedule freed up finally here in Vegas, and I was able to make time to go to Burbank and kind of see what kind of chemistry we had, because you never know. And I've worked with so many different people and producers and different writers where the magic wasn't there, the chemistry wasn't there. So when I met them, it was like boom, instant. And I'd known Trish, and I got to meet her. They both came to see me perform here in Vegas, and got to kind of get to know them, but I really just didn't have a lot of time to invest into a friendship with them. So finally get out to Burbank, and it just kind of, like I said, it was magical. And so far we've actually done a 5-song EP that's not released yet, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it. I want to continue to write for this EP, but right now we've got 5 songs that we want to share and do. But he's capable of doing anything. PK is his real name is Gahara PK Degadenzi, and he's worked with Chris Brown. He did Chris Brown's Fine China and won or was nominated for a Grammy, and it went platinum. Like, he's
Awesome.
He's very successful, and I was very honored to get to work with him. And Trish is so fantastic. Like, some people feel really uncomfortable in the studio, which I have always had bad experiences. I've been a live performer my whole life, so being in the studio is a totally different animal.
Absolutely,
And
it is.
yeah, and you get nervous and you hear yourself in a different way. So when I was in there, obviously it's top-notch equipment, and both of them. I think it is important to have a vocal producer, not just the producer. There was really something to that.
Yeah.
There was something there, and I really like that dynamic, and I want to continue to do that in the future. Or always work with one of them at least in the future on that. But that made a big difference. So recording was really, really neat, and yeah.
Now, when he does his music backgrounds, does he
Yeah.
use like Ableton and all of those kind of programs, or is he organic? Does he program an actual drum machine, or how does he?
He's really talented. I know he plays piano, and I think he's been doing that his entire life. But I think he also plays like any instrument. I think he plays the drums and just anything. I don't know. He's kind of a genius.
That's awesome.
And what's cool is that I would go into the studio and I would say, I am so into this song or this track or this sound right now. And he will take that and kind of use it as a template for what song we would write that day. And it was really neat to see that kind of develop, because I feel like when you listen to the EP, you're going to hear so many different styles, but it all has this, somehow it has this cohesiveness together. And so he's kind of able to do that. But these songs really were meant for movie placement and TV and film and things like that. That's really what what we created them for.
Oh, so they're not really made to be top 40 type songs.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
it would be amazing if they were, but I think they're more TV and film kind of songs.
Yeah.
Some are very epic and inspired by this Lana Del Rey sound, and then some have this bluesy tone, and some have a poppy country sound. So, like I said, I think it's a really good start to where I see myself going as an artist.
And whenever you're in the studio with someone like PK or someone whoever is a great producer, you always learn so much when you're around those people, because you see their approach to all aspects of audio recording, whether it's mic placement, whether it's whatever.
I started looking at brands that he had. I was like, what kind of mic is this? What kind of cord are you using? What kind of programs are you using? He uses Logic a lot for vocals, and then goes into
Ableton?
Nope.
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
Yeah.
For a lot of the tracks. Pretty much it's all Pro Tools, but I know he likes to use Logic for vocals.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I learned. And, it would be neat to be able to kind of learn that program as well, to be able to make just like little demos and then take it to him or another producer and say, okay, do this, but better.
Well, nowadays, the way all the digital audio workstations are set up is basically you can record on any medium. You can record on Cubase, you can record on Pro Tools, you can record on GarageBand even. And basically you just send the producer your stems.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he feels one of them doesn't sound right or whatever, then he'll redo the stem.
As long as I have the vibe in there.
So it doesn't really matter what program you use, as long as
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just need to learn one of them. That's it. Taking the time to sit down and learn. Which is rare. So
what have you been doing around town?
So lots. I play at Green Valley Ranch on Fridays and Mondays at Hank's Steakhouse. Fridays I'm there 6 to 11, and then Monday I'm there 5 to 10. Tuesday nights I'm at Sam's Town at Roxy's Lounge, 6 to 9:30. Thursdays starting in July I'll be actually back with Ryan Ryan White Maloney.
Oh, my goodness.
We're getting the band back together. And I'm excited because I actually played a one-off gig with him at the Westgate. And it was just like, I missed you. You know, it was fun. We had so much fun.
I just had a Blues Brothers flashback of getting the band back together.
See, you say that, but I
Doug gets that.
Yeah, I get
Doug.
See, I don't get that. I go back to Sling Blade. I'm like, we don't need no damn band, Randy. Tuning son of a bitch. I love that.
That had to be one of Billy Bob Thornton's best roles
ever.
I mean, that movie's just
Besides
beyond
Bad Santa,
great.
that was pretty good. I don't know.
So you've worked with Ryan before.
Yeah.
And weren't you on what was the deal with you and him on The Voice? So to tell everybody what was going on with that whole thing.
So I was living in Nashville at the time, and my mom called me and said there is a audition for The Voice in Vegas, and your sister-in-law is going to go. You should go too. And I was like, I don't want to be on one of those shows, but it's Vegas, so I'll go. And so me and my friend at the time went, and it was so nerve-wracking. I was the first 10 in line. I got there at like 3 a.m. And
so you didn't have like
no special treatment for me.
No special treatment?
No.
Oh boy, okay.
No, Ryan, he actually got a private audition. I was like, well, what the fudge? So I got my ass there in line at 3 a.m. I was the first 10 in line. And I sat there and I'm, sitting there just like, it was so funny. My friend would tell the story. I'm just like sitting on the steps and everybody's like, has their tea and their scarf around their neck and they're doing their warm-ups and I'm sitting there on the step with my Red Bull and my cigarette just like
That a girl.
Whatever. I'm tired. I don't want to be here right now. Like, yeah. You either have it or you don't. I mean, it's that simple. But it's good to warm up your voice. But I was kind of carefree about the whole thing. So I went in and I got in there and I was a little nervous. It's like 10 at a time, and you're in this ballroom, and it's pretty big, and there's just this table and this person and 10 others auditioning, and you just sit in this chair and they call you up by your number one by one, and you literally stand up, you sing a verse and a chorus, and you sit back down. And
that's it, just a verse and a chorus, no complete songs or anything.
No, so you better get it on at that.
I mean, did you sing a cappella?
We did. They all did.
Oh, really?
And wow, I mean, we're talking like pretty mildly okay acoustics, but I don't know what made it just kind of came to me. I was working at a bar at the time, and a song called "I Put a Spell on You" it came on, and it was CCR's version. But I went and I was like, I really like that song, but I wanted to see what other versions they had. So it was Nina Simone that I had found. Wow. So I listened to her version, and that was actually my audition song for that. And I just actually feel like it was like I blacked out in that moment because I did so freaking good. Like I don't honestly give myself compliments.
You made it onto
I don't
the
give
show.
myself compliments ever. And I blew that audition out of the water. It was like, oh my God, that was cool. But I was still nervous. Like, I don't know if that was what they were looking for. So sure enough, out of that whole group, I got the first red ticket out of the entire day. I was the very first one to walk in those doors with the red ticket. It was like, oh my God.
So the red ticket means that you get to audition the next round instead of the golden ticket. While they eliminate 5,000 people, right?
It is
on the first round.
Well, when people are like, how far did you get? I'm like, well, when you think about it, pretty far compared to, bless their hearts, everybody that came to audition. I mean, 10,000 people probably that day.
Yeah, sure.
So I was really fortunate. But I went into the next round. Anyways, they would fly us back and forth to Studio City, Burbank for Universal's studios. That's where everything was filmed. And we'd do these, so many auditions, and we do all this paperwork and psychological tests and everything. And there's a lot that goes into it. And then I went and got on the show officially. Was so nervous, and did Black Velvet. That was my audition song. And by the way, you don't get to pick your song.
Yeah,
You-
they
yeah.
have to have everything
But
choreographed
it's
and
licensed.
all of that. And
They have
really?
to,
Okay.
yeah, they have to get licensings for everything.
Yeah.
So you make tons and tons of lists of songs that you know or would want to learn or want to sing. And I actually had to take a day off work one time to actually fill out this paperwork. And it took me from sun up to sundown to do it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So they wound up picking Black Velvet, which is a song that I was really familiar with and comfortable with. But did I think it was going to be the most amazing song for me to showcase my voice? Was it the song that represented me as an artist? No, not at all. But I did it, and Blake turned around, so I was on his team, and then so they fly us home, then they fly us back for battle rounds, and I got paired up with a guy named Ryan White Maloney, who happened to live in Vegas. He kind of always lived in Vegas, except for when he's from Michigan.
Yeah, well, all us Vegas people know Ryan.
Yes, Ryan.
He's
Ryan
played around for years.
Is a Vegas fixture.
Oh, absolutely.
He's amazing, and got paired up with him, thankfully, and he wound up winning the battle round, which was, we look back and go, that was the best case scenario for this. It should have been like that, and I'm glad it was.
Right.
So he comes after the show's over. We all go back to our normal lives, and it's really hard because you go from being on this television show to not really getting any help or having, your phone's not ringing off the hook for gigs or for anybody. It was just really strange. And I felt like, you know what, I really need, and Ryan and I, we became such good friends on the show, and we just loved each other. I mean, just absolutely.
Did you do a song with him at any point?
What do you mean, like recording?
No, I mean, not on the show. You guys were...
We've done several recordings. Well, I wouldn't say several recordings together, but he's got a studio now in his house, and so I go over there and I record with him. He actually recorded my album, the CoverGirl album.
Yeah, so he actually helped you produce that whole...
Yeah, he did.
So for those of you who don't know, Cali has a record called CoverGirl, which is all cover songs.
Yeah.
But really well done, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes.
He will be glad to hear that. We also
Yeah.
did a Christmas album too. Cali's Christmas. Some of my favorite Christmas songs. So he did that as well. But yeah, he's been a big, important... He was the main reason for me moving out to Vegas from Nashville.
So when did you move out?
October 1st, 2014.
Oh, okay. So you've only been here for...
4.5 years.
4.5 years, yeah.
Yep. And so if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be in Vegas. And it's just...
Where was your first gig?
For stations with him.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, I take that back. My very first gig was like the first day I actually drove into town. It was with, oh, he's going to kill me, Sean.
Sean Eiferman?
Sean Eiferman, God bless him.
Yeah.
He and I had, Ryan had got me in touch with a couple different people that lived in town. He's like, you should contact them, once he knew I was moving out here. So I contacted Sean. I was like, I'd love to play a gig. And he's like, well, let's do this one. It's no longer there, but it was at the Link. It was a cocktail place. And I made the mistake.
O'Shea's?
No, it was a really nice, classy cocktail place. It's called,
Then
it's
it's
Americana.
not O'Shea's, right, Doug?
No, it's definitely not O'Shea's. No, but it's Americana now. I forget what it's called. Boulevard Cocktail Company. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe I remember that. And so he invited me to come play there, and I think it was a 3-4 hour show, and I had a lot of people come up and show me support that I had gotten to know, and just, it was really cool.
You must love singing with him because he's got an incredible voice.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, so you guys singing together must be
We haven't done
quite
it since, seriously.
Oh.
I think we haven't even played at all together, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
I've got to get in touch with him. But I sang that night with him, and it was like, and then I would go visit Ryan over at Stations Casino at Sunset Station, and Ryan was like, let's do a duo. And I was like, okay, why? Yeah, we'll call it the Las Vegas Voices. So for a while there, for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, I think, we did the Las Vegas Voices duo, and we played for station casinos and just everywhere, you know. And then I kind of broke off and did my solo thing, which I'm still doing now. But it's really neat now at this point to like incorporate both. So I get my solo stuff and I get to work with him and other people, and so it's neat. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: when did you decide you wanted to be a singer? Like, at what age? What prompted the whole thing?
I don't know. I think it's always just been. It's just something that always was. I mean, my family's they're all musicians. They're all singers. And I grew up kind of on a tour bus, and it was just neat to see my mom and my aunt kind of do their thing, and it was really magical. And still to this day, I want to get a Prevost tour bus so I can sleep on the bottom bunk while the engine, because that is just that's nostalgic for me, you know. And but just peeking out behind the curtain, I always tell that story because that really is what happened. Me and my cousins, we were all very young, and they would take us on the road with them, and we would all just peek out from the curtains. We got to know the band guys. They would pick us up and hang out with us and play with us, and we'd see the crowd, and then sometimes they would bring us out on stage, and we'd, you know, get to wave at everybody or maybe sing a song or something. I don't even know, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. But yeah, it's just, that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see how the music industry has changed so much since, you know, the early 90s is when I really remember. Every year there's new technology that comes out that just changes the game completely. And we talk about illegal downloading, and people don't buy music anymore.
Yeah.
How do artists make their money? And it's, you know, when you think about it, it's really touring and merch. And
that's about it.
And that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
prices are going up.
You have to be a live performer these days, and you have to be good at it.
Yep.
And you have to have the right production. Mm-hmm. And all of that costs money.
Yeah, and it's working smarter, not harder when it comes to
Yes.
that. Less is more, and that's why I actually started doing my solo thing and really trying to condense down like what my show is and how I can work the room the best and how I can get the best kind of gigs and things like that. So it's been a learning curve for me.
And a lot of it is how, you know, and this is such a Vegas thing that we've all learned, is that a lot of it is how you interact with that crowd.
Uh-huh.
That is one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
You can't be up there and just be shy and be the best singer in the world and say, I'm just going to sit up here and sing.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't work here.
No.
At all.
No, I mean, I don't actually feel like, okay, my niche, whatever, is not that I move around a lot. I don't like moving around the stage. I waste a lot of energy doing that.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting, and I'm not Beyonce. So, okay, well, what can I do the best? Well, I love being pitch perfect. I love hitting every single note perfectly, and I think that's really important for a live show. I mean, people go in
Yes.
and they go, we didn't realize it was a live singer. We thought it was the radio. And that is the biggest compliment you
It
can
is.
give to me. So that was really important. So I bring a lot of humor to my show because it's me, it's solo. I have nobody else to rely on. I have to banter back and forth with the crowd. And when I'm able to, and this honestly is like a big thing, when I'm able to reach out and touch you, I can see you, I
Yeah.
can interact with you, that's really important. And I think if I'm getting really deep into it, that's why I'm not very good at social media. I like to really connect with people.
Yeah.
And it's such a distance thing. Like, I don't really know you and you don't really know me. And I have that disconnect there. But when I'm at a show as a live performer, I can reach out and I can touch you and I can get to know you and you can get to know me and I can feel the room and feel the vibes. So that to me is super important. So hitting the notes really perfectly, obviously having great song choices, being able to look at your demographic and go, okay, what would they want to hear? And be a well-versed singer with wide variety of genres in music.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be pigeonholed into like a genre specific, you know, like even though like as an artist, I really want to be into country. I want to be the next level of country music. I want to be what Shania Twain was back in the 90s, you know, really come out with something completely different and change the game completely. So, but yeah.
I mean, how would you take that approach? Like, I mean, I know that what everyone's heard the new Billy Ray Cyrus song.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is a complete combination of hip hop and
Which
I don't
I
know
love.
what it is actually, but it's.
I hate the song, but I love
but
the
it's-
idea. I love
Yeah.
what it's doing. It's allowing country music to really branch out because some people are going to say, "Oh, we miss the old country," but I mean, hey, listen, everything evolves, and and you know, like you said, I don't know if it was you or somebody was saying they went to a country concert and on the break, in between the intermissions, they would play hip hop music. I mean, people
Yeah.
love that sound, whether they want to admit it or not. So that opens a door for people like me to bring in some new creative juices to that genre.
And you know, I like things. You know, one of the groups that I feel has like really like kind of upped the game and just has a really unique sound. I mean, a lot of the country music is just, you know, stock music, all recycled, and
It's
people
depressing
get really
how stock it is.
It's terrible. But
I go, who sings this? It's like the same person over and over again.
But I love groups like Lady Antebellum.
Yeah.
You know, what's her name? Not Perry.
Band Perry.
The band Perry.
They were my mentors on The Voice.
Yeah. Oh, they were?
Yeah. I'm not crazy about them at all.
And Jason
Sorry.
Aldean. Jason Aldean has definitely a
Yeah, he's got a specific voice.
yeah.
Everybody keeps requesting like Luke Bryan and Thomas Rhett. They're doing really. Maren Morris is doing
Sure.
great. But if you think about it, I really feel like it goes back to having the most incredible marketing team, because you can
It
take
does.
a shit song and really a shit singer and make it a huge success.
Yeah.
Because of the marketing that you have behind you. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend I'm the greatest songwriter in the world, because I'm not. I write what I feel and I know at the time.
Yeah.
And I listen to a lot of these lyrics and I go, that just didn't get me, but the music got me.
Right.
So I want to continue to listen to it. So there's so many different aspects of how I feel like music becomes successful and artists become successful,
Well,
whether they're talented or not.
So how do you when you approach songwriting, how do you approach songwriting? I mean, everyone has a different
Yeah.
way of approaching it.
I used to get annoyed when people would come into like a writing session with a hook. I would be kind of like, okay, we're going to make music around this one line that happens to be
Right.
clever. And that was kind of annoying. But I didn't start doing the same thing. I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would have this one line or this two line or this thought, and I would write it down, and I have like my whole list in my phone. So anytime I have a writing session, I have kind of a list of thoughts, and nothing
Like lyrical ideas.
you
Yeah.
know, or a storyline of something I wanted to talk about or sing about, write about, whatever. And so when I would go into the studio with PK in Burbank, I would say, I love this song. I like this sound. I like this feeling. And he would create this music, this production around it.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And I would go, oh my God, I love the way this sounds. Like, it just makes me feel good. Like,
Right.
I don't need any lyrics. Then we would take lyrics. I mean, I would feel an emotion from that. And I would kind of look at the things that I had written down and go, oh my God. And it would just kind of piece itself together in my brain, like lyrics and a vibe that what I wanted to say. So there was a song that we wrote called Kill Me. And it was something that I had been wanting to write forever. And we actually wrote it in Nashville. We flew out there and wrote with Steve Diamond, who wrote Let Me Let Go for Faith Hill and many other hits. Mm-hmm. Incredible songwriter. So me, Trish, PK, and Steve were at Curb in this awesome room, just small room, probably just a little bit bigger than this one. And we sat and we wrote this song. And I was so happy that a writer from Nashville was as open to what I wanted to do musically and lyrically. And it was just, it turned out to be one of my favorite songs. And it's turned out to be a fan favorite when I played at shows. And it's the whole song, and I'll try to sing, not the whole song, but just the verse. It just means a lot to me. And I'll let you interpret it before I actually tell you the real story behind it. But
Are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to try. It's a lonely road, only I could know. Always pushing up against the waves. But I paid the price, gave up paradise, and never waste a word I say. All that know, my voice is gonna kill me someday.
Ah, cool. So it's actually a song about your voice?
Yeah. So it was really important for me to sing because since I moved out to Vegas has been really good to me, but I've been singing a ton and my voice has changed a lot,
Yeah.
And I thought my voice is going to kill me someday. And I just thought of that line. It was just like,
Yeah, it
I really
happens
felt
out
like
here.
I really felt like, I mean, it's just like, but it also had a double meaning when we were writing it. It was not only that kind of sparked it, but some of the other lyrics, you know, it talks about, you know, it's a lonely road, only I could know, always pushing up against the waves. It's like a lot of people in their thoughts, their voice gets them killed. You know, when they speak their mind, they speak the truth. And so we're in a really big movement right now, obviously with, you know, women's rights and things like that I thought was really kind of cool. I was like, well, this is really powerful, because sometimes when you say what you mean and say how you feel and express your opinions, you know, it can get you in trouble. And
yeah, I mean, I think people, you know, a lot of people are afraid to even voice their opinions about things.
I know
and
I am. I've always been like
terrible,
tongue-tied. I'm like, oh well, I guess I won't say anything because I'm not trying to deal with any backlash. I'm trying to be a singer and a great person and a successful this and that. I'm not trying to cause an uproar because nobody cares about my opinion, like really, like, but I should voice it more when it's specific issues that bother me and trouble me.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I would love to be able to get to a place in my career where I have enough leverage to be able to make a huge difference and impact.
Yeah, and then you're going to be labeled as one of these Hollywood entertainer people who shouldn't have an opinion. So, you know,
nobody should have an opinion, but I really want to be able to do that. And not, I mean, you can't please everybody, but I think it's more about helping people and standing up for what's right and what's wrong.
Well, and you know, it kind of leads us into what we were talking about before, which was how technology has allowed us to just do a lot of wonderful things, as well as, you know, kind of cutting out some of the good as well. But, you know, like for instance, just being able to have your own podcast, and being able to have your own podcast on a shoestring budget is a pretty amazing thing. You know, I mean, I never thought when I was younger that I always wanted to have like a radio show and play really cool music that the other radio stations didn't play. Well, now here we are, you know, I mean, it's, you know, a few microphones, a couple cameras, and
some good help,
and a couple friends.
Yeah.
Doug and Dave over here.
Yeah.
So what's next for Cali? There you go.
So what's next for Cali? Where's Cali going next?
Releasing my EP, and then I really want to, you know, be able to get on a tour. I want to open for an artist.
Yes.
This fall. I would love that. I mean, that's extremely ostentatious of me, but that is what I want.
That would be great.
So being able to tour and create more of a fan base and grow that with the songs that I have, continue to write. I want to continue to write like every day, every week. And I'm going to be doing a rebranding as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And so how are you rebranding? Explain what you're going to do.
Look-wise, a lot of the media stuff will change, and biggest thing will be my name. I'm going to just go with Cali, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that a lot. And
why not?
Yeah, just, you know, there's no artist out there right now with my name spelling either. So just go with Cali. You know, like Britney.
Make sure you get the
Madonna.
Make sure you get the website.
Oh,
the Cali website.
Yeah, I gotta get that one.
You gotta buy the trademark.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, I gotta do that right now. Somebody's gonna do it. Quick. Okay.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us, and Miss Cali Tucker. She's been great, and we look forward to maybe having you on the podcast again.
I'll be back.
Definitely, you'll be back.
And since I live next door,
we'll talk about a few more daring subjects.
Yes, I would love that.
And in the meantime, you can help me direct videos.
That sounds perfect. I'm so excited. Our next music video. Stay tuned, folks. Ooh.
Yes, that's right. All right, signing off.
Thank you, Executive Blonde.